Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, September 7th, 2021. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create and support local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, check them out on their Facebook page or just go right to their website at indianheadcaa.org. Fitzy, we have a lot to get to this morning. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. The sun... so I had the doors off the Jeep, and I forgot to pull the Jeep in the garage last night. And like at 3:30 this morning, huge thunder and lightning and stuff, and it woke me up. Actually, it woke Drusha up, and she had said, "Honey, wake up! It's pouring out, and your doors off the Jeep." So I had to get up. It was like at 3 and pull my Jeep in. Well, now I'm awake because my boxers and t-shirt outside pulling my Jeep in. I'm like, well, I guess I'm awake now. So I've been up very early, have had a pot and a half of coffee, so I'm doing fantastic.
Wow, let's do this.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how was your weekend?
Good. It was a great weekend. I had some football Friday night in Hudson. Rice Lake beat Hudson for the first time in a long time at Hudson Field. So that was a big win for the boys. Football, and then we played some hockey on the weekend up in Duluth. Nice. So then we took Monday off, so it was great. Good weekend and beautiful weather, and it was awesome. So did a lot. Didn't seem like I did, but it ended up doing a lot. So it was good.
Did you work yesterday out of curiosity then, or it sounds like you're pretty busy?
I did not. What? I did not work. I took yesterday off.
That's weird.
Well, it doesn't mean I didn't pay attention and take some phone calls and did some work, but I didn't get dressed up and play sheriff.
I didn't play cop yesterday. I spent a ton of time watching college football, and I don't want to get into all that because nobody cares about college football, but I love it. It was a fantastic Badgers, man. Like, I don't like Wisconsin sports teams. I don't like the Packers. I don't like the Bucks or the Brewers, but I like the Badgers. And, boy, they screwed that up. 3 different times they had a chance to win that game. Yeah. And, well, that was so disappointing. But that Georgia-Clemson game, that was legit. Yeah. That was a great game.
There were some good games, good matchups. I like when they're not a number one team versus some Shell Lake Lakers against the Alabama. All the games were close. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean.
When they're playing
it's
cupcake
not fun
games.
when it's that.
Yeah.
We got lots of watchers.
Good morning, everyone. And actually, I'll just say that right now. So there is, I think I put it up above our post this morning. I'm not sure what I wrote. But we are doing we're going to give a shirt away, but we still don't have those ready, and I forgot to call Barb. Dang it. So we're just, I know, I'm terrible. So we're going to do a $25 Amazon gift card. Oh, yeah, Barb.
Barb's custom imprint.
Yeah. Last week we announced that she had sent us some swag, which was awesome. So thank you very, very much. And good morning to everyone that's joining us. So, yeah, the giveaway is say something positive in the comments for a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. I like the Amazon gift card because when we announce the win at the end, you just send me your email. I just go on and send it. So I don't have a whole lot of work to do afterwards, which is really nice.
And you won't forget to do it.
And I won't forget to do it, right. At least that's the idea.
I'll remind him.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll pick the winner at the end. But, yeah, say something positive about anything, about the show, about something going on in your life, something that you have noticed, anything. Just, say something positive. That'd be great. We already have one in here. What is that? On a positive note, Tuesday is a great excuse for
There you go.
That's awesome.
Taco Tuesday.
That's awesome. So we do these. We got to 25 points because of a trivia questions that we do. And when we do that, then the idea was either a gift card or a shirt or something. So trivia questions for today, because now we're starting over. So I got a really easy one for you.
Okay.
Because last week I did a college football trivia question because it was college football kickoff weekend. This week is, of course, NFL. And even though I don't like the Packers, know your audience. Here's my trivia question for you. Very easy. How many Super Bowls have the Green Bay Packers won?
Ooh.
Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5?
4.
You're correct. That's 3 points, dude. Right away. You are right. And by the way,
I was going to say 4 without the choices, but I was pretty sure it was 4.
By the way, do you know how many times they've gone to the Super Bowl?
How many?
That'd be 5. They're 4 out of 5. I looked this up this morning. The Chicago Bears, yay. So we're going to be, winning the Super Bowl this year, of course, because Justin Fields is going to just kill it.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Is he starting?
No, but he will be shortly. He's one. The Bears are 1 out of 2, so they have won Super Bowl and have gone twice. And Vikings have gone 4 times, but I didn't know this. They haven't won one. I thought they won one, but
no, they have not won one.
Mike Schaefer, suck it.
There, that's positive.
Positive. Oh man!
Hey, you know what we forgot to do last week too? We didn't mention Dave Wilson's name, so we have to mention Dave Wilson's name twice.
Dave Wilson.
It was the first show in a long time that our streak got broke. It's like our Snapchat streak.
Yeah.
They have them streaks on Snapchat.
Yeah.
We lost our streak last week. We didn't mention Dave Wilson's name, so he had Town and Country Days, or was it Town and Country Days in Shell Lake?
Yeah. Yep.
So he's probably tired. He's probably recovering.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. That's or something. Yeah, no kidding. Listen, you both thank you, Sharon, for saying that. That is incredibly kind of you. All right, what is your trivia question?
So mine has to do with meth, because we're talking about meth on Thursday here in Barron. So in how many parental rights were terminated? Barron County parental people terminated their parental rights because of meth in 2020. 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 12, 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, or 11 plus. How many people?
It can't be 8 to 11 and then 11 plus. It's got to be 12 plus.
Well, 12 plus. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I think so. I just want to be clear. So what was that? Can you say that again? Because that's
terminated. So
what does that mean?
People that we took their parental rights away. So it's not very positive, but I wanted to explain. How many people had their rights terminated due to meth? Parental rights are kids taken away due to meth in Barron County in 2020. 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, or 12 plus.
First of all, I agree with Bridget on this one. Do you know? Can you tell me how many there were in 2019?
No.
Oh,
because I don't know.
Because you don't want to, or okay. Yeah. If anyone else, yeah, boy, that's 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 plus. Last time, I'm going to go Dawn. I think, I feel like that has to be the number. I don't want to lose a point here. So remove one of them.
Remove one of them? I'll remove the 12 plus. I'll remove that.
Oh, phew. Okay, so that's gone. So we can get 2 points if we get that right. So that's 0 to 3. Well, it can't be 0 to 3. It just can't. So it's got to be 4 to 7 and 8 to 11. Boy, B or C? B or C. I'm going to go with Matt's, answer C. I think. See if anyone else has a cup. No. Mary says 4 to 7. Well, last time, Mary, you got it wrong.
So you're picking C?
I'm thinking C, 8 to 11.
It was 8. You got it right.
Yes. Well, that's 2 points.
So we terminated 8 parental rights. So learn more about that on Thursday. We'll be at the Barron Area Community Center. I know we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but Thursday, we're going to give some meth updates, and there's some positives that we're going to spin on some of this. Obviously, those parental rights are terminated. Those kids are hopefully or should be in a better spot or are in a better spot. So that's better than living in a meth house. And it doesn't mean they don't get them back. And there's some good things to that. And we've got some great programs in place for some family drug treatment court, things like that.
Sure.
And we're going to talk about, obviously, Senator Johnson's going to be there.
Right.
And I took a lot of calls, or not a lot of calls, but a lot of information on him, a lot of, comments, etc. But do you know where most of our meth comes from in Wisconsin?
Okay. Like, how far back do you want to go?
Yeah,
I don't think it's like you don't. I don't think most of it is like Breaking Bad, where they're just cooking it in the garage or something.
Right. No, we're not cooking it at all here. So
I think it probably starts over in the cities and then or Chicago. But then I'm thinking, obviously, right? Be most of it tracked back to, I think, Mexico. I don't know.
Yep, exactly. Mexico and through Minnesota. Now, our heroin comes from Chicago. Our meth doesn't come from Chicago. Our heroin comes from Minnesota through Mexico. So, and that's what, like, why is Ron Johnson coming? Why is this? I'm like, because the border is a big issue. It has nothing to do with it. Don't care about the people crossing. I care about the drugs crossing. Okay, so if we can secure our borders and stop the meth from coming, we can solve a big problem here in Barron County. And it seems weird to say boom, boom, how can we stop the border? Secure the border helps Barron County, Wisconsin. It's kind of weird, but it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
100% of our milk comes from Mexico, through Minnesota. So it's a big deal. Or if we close the I-94 bridge, it's always the joke, and I'll say the joke on Thursday. I mean, if we close the bridge in Hudson, we can stop the meth. They'll have to drive farther around. So,
Nice.
um,
See, now you don't have to go on Thursday because you just got the best part right there.
right, yeah, the whole joke. There you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, but so we got
yeah,
that.
there obviously are positives there that come out. So it was the question. Could you repeat that question again? I can't remember how you worded it. The trivia
How many
question.
parental rights were terminated in Barron County in
Parental
2000?
rights. Yeah. So, well, we can just do a whole thing on that, I guess, at some other point. But I'm just curious how that then works. How do they? I'm assuming have to kind of quote unquote earn the right to have these children back. But I think that's also a testament to just how powerful meth is.
Right.
Because there's one thing I think we can all agree on. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, if you're a cop, if you're black, if you're what. It doesn't matter about anything. Harming a child, that's the one thing that most of us just don't have a tolerance for in any capacity. But it's
Right.
so powerful, meth is, that you don't even put your children first. And you're
Right.
potentially risking losing them because of this crazy addiction that meth can create. Ah, that's such a sad thing.
Right, it is.
All right. Well, there you go. Labor Day weekend, obviously, just got finished with that. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. How did it go down in Barron County for the sheriff's office?
Well, we were pretty good. I mean, we didn't have anything super, super bad. We had a bad crash. We're working on. We should have a press release later today, I believe. Alcohol is going to be a factor in that crash. We had a drug search warrant we did, and we got some meth. So we did that, and we assisted another department with a drowning. Our boat was used to assist another department with a drowning in another county. So that more information I'm sure will come out about that, and I don't know the outcome of that case either. So that was outside the county, but they called, requested some help. So again, I didn't work Sunday and Monday, but I did field some calls. We did move our team around, took care of some things. We had a lot of ATV complaints over the weekend. We really worked.
Real quick, what are the complaints? What are they typically like? Hey, there's an ATV going too fast by my house. Is that it?
Speed, stop signs, off the trail, things like that. So we're working on a few things. I know we wrote a lot of citations this weekend for people driving on roads that aren't marked or violating the stop signs or the speed or whatever it was. So lots of different complaints. We were out there working Sunday when this drowning happened and requested our team. Our rec officer, our DNR warden that were here working Barron County, then moved to another county to assist that county.
Are most of these people that you pulled over from what you know about them, are they local people or is this Labor Day weekend, people coming up, cabins, lakes, etc., and they just didn't know or didn't really care?
I don't know the answer to that. Okay. I mean, I would guess some of it's education and we do a lot of education. Doesn't mean we stop somebody, we give a citation. We do some education with them. We can look to see if they've been cited for this in the past or if they've had another DNR violation. So that means that has some bearing in it. So the technology of the world allows us to do that. I can tell if you've been stopped for speeding in Washburn County. I can tell you if you've been stopped for a DNR violation. I can tell that kind of stuff. So that helps us determine, are you really telling me yeah, I've never been stopped for speeding, or I've never, if you get a warning, that's probably not going to come out in your system. But if you've gotten a ticket, that'll be in the system.
Sure. What's a DNR violation? What do you get a violation from DNR? I avoid, nature at all costs. So I'm assuming that's what DNR is, like out in nature. Give me an example of a DNR violation.
Well, the DNR violation, all ATV or UTV violations are DNR tickets.
Oh, I didn't know.
They don't go on your driving record.
Oh, nice.
At this time, we're still trying to push that, because if you get an OWI right now in your car, you can drive tomorrow your UTV to work, and there is no violation unless your municipality has an ordinance. You have to have a valid driver's license. There's some technicalities to that.
Sure.
That but for the most part, DNR violations don't go on your driving record. That's why Mark Servey, our highway director, and most highway directors are against UTVs on roadways because they don't follow the road rules. And so that's why you have some disagreement out there when it comes to UTVs being on roadways. And I agree. And we're working with, Dave Armstrong and people like that saying, you know what, these rules have to match. If you're on a roadway rules must apply. So if you get your driver's license suspended in your vehicle, you shouldn't be able to drive a UTV on the roadway. It's just logical, I think. And
Do you think that will get changed? Because I
I
had
think
no
so.
idea about any of this.
Yeah, well, it hasn't gotten changed yet. I think there's more push now that more roadways are open. I think we have a better push. Before it was trails, and you can't put road rules on trails. But now that
Right.
most people have their roadways opened up, I think you have to go to a better system for that. And we're working with the DNR, and our rec officers are working on that.
So now that Labor Day is finished, I mean, it's like the unofficial
End of summer.
end of summer, right? Because the kids are back in school, cooler weather at night, and even kind of in the day. Labor Day is behind us. Summer's finished. Summer's over. Does that change anything for law enforcement? And obviously, in your case, obviously Barron County Sheriff's Office. Does anything change? Is there a transition? It's or now we don't have to have as much overtime on weekends for this? Or I mean, is there anything that changes at all, or is it didn't really matter at all? We just keep doing the same thing that we always do.
No, we started to see a drop in calls. This weekend we were busy again. We had, our CADs that we send out to the media, and they were in the, we look at the number of pages is what I look at, on my screen. It's usually about 18 to 20 is a busy weekend. Last week they got down to 10, and now they were back up to 20, 22 pages for CADs over the weekend, and so that's a lot. So we were steady. But no, it doesn't change for us. We switch from boating to UTV and get ready for winter. Our patrol switches from, patrolling around the lakes to patrolling around the schools. We're still working on some speed enforcement. We've had a lot of speeding complaints over the weekend. That's something that we're looking at. We're also busy with calls, so it's tough to manage speeding. It's tough to catch somebody speeding. So we're working on I got to come up with a better plan for speeding, and I don't know what the answer is to that when it comes to that. But we had a lot of complaints about speeders on this road and that road and this road, and it's just hard to go catch a person on a rural road. You
After
just
the
got to know to
fact,
be there at the right time.
right? Yeah, and after the fact.
Right.
If you get the
Yeah.
call, it's like, well, by the time we get out there, they're probably not speeding again.
Well, but they say it happens every day.
Oh,
A
sure.
lot of it was, weekends around the lakes because there's more traffic. So
Sure.
that there's obviously less traffic now around our lakes during the weekends. So that's why our boat patrol, is going to be out. But we have a busy weekend. There's a lot of fall festivals. There's a rodeo this weekend in Barron County. There's a street eats for the Benjamin House. There's a car show. There's a bunch of stuff at the fairgrounds. Chautauqua is having some events. So there's
Jeez.
still a lot of fall events. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We're
Wow.
going to be out working Saturday. I'll be working Saturday we have a big rodeo. We have a car show, a gun show, a tractor show, all at the fairgrounds. It's Barbecue Fest put on by the fairgrounds. And so there's a barbecue truck from like Alabama or somewhere coming. I mean, it's like this top-notch barbecue place. It's pretty neat. So come down to the Barbecue Fest at the Barron County Fairgrounds this weekend, and that should be kind of fun. So
I actually just might. That sounds good. And I haven't been
Yeah.
away in a while. So as long as it's outside, yeah, but not
It's
in
outside.
nature.
It's not
so
in
for
nature.
today,
It's in the city.
yeah. So since we had our 25 points last week, that means we're giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. Say something positive in the comments about anything that you want, or something positive. That'd be great. And at the very end, we'll select a random person for the winner. So we didn't have any presses or articles, but I didn't want to touch on something. And actually, I know there was a last week's show. Patricia Appleby had asked a question right at the end of the show when we were like literally doing the music was on, we were finished. That asked a question that I wanted to discuss with you. I think you even commented after the fact and said that we'll discuss it on the show. I don't understand what this really is about, but hopefully you do. But before that, one of the articles, excuse me, that I wanted to talk about today, we really can't now because it's got pushed off. Our headline originally was "Man to be sentenced on child sex crime stemming from undercover sexting." This was in Barron County, but that got updated, I think, on Thursday that the sentencing got moved, I think, now to November. But I wanted to bring this up and ask you something, because in Rusk County a week and a half or so ago, we had an article with the title, "Former Teacher Allegedly Recorded Videos of Juvenile Engaged in Sexual Activity." We put up a post yesterday on DrydenWire.com. I think it was Washburn County case that convicted sex offender faces new charges for attempted child sex crime. And I'll have a story up, I think, either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. It's a Sawyer County update. That a registered sex offender has been sentenced for violations of sex offender registry. Wow. I think you and I have talked in the past where there's been some fatalities in Barron County, and it just seems to go in these spurts every once in a while. I don't know why, just the randomness of life, I suppose. But because this would be the fourth one in like a week and a half, is this something that you talk to parents about, or that parents reach out to you and talk about the internet, the world that is out there, and parents paying attention to what their children are doing? Because there always seems to be two common denominators in all of these articles. One, some grody, creepy dude, and alleged creepy, grody dude. Just saying, they're all kind of little something.
Right.
But it's an adult male, well into their adult life, and 14, 15-year-old girls.
Right.
Is that something that parents talk to you about? How can we prevent this, or do you have a message for them? I'm sure you see these things all of the time, and in a weird way, this stuff is positive that we're covering it, because that means that they've gotten busted.
Right.
But I don't know. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on all of these stories regarding adult males to 14 to 15-year-old girls.
You said it in your statement. You said be involved, watch your kids' phone, and that's the best thing we can do is stay involved. Talk to your kids about this. There's bad people in the world. Tell them there's bad people in the world. Don't sugarcoat it. Be honest with them. It's tough to be honest with a 6-year-old, but when they're 11, 12, 13, we have to talk about some of this stuff, whether it's meth, marijuana, alcohol, sexting, whatever it is. And so we teach that. We teach parents to be involved. Go into your kid's room and go through it every once in a while. It's your house, your rules. You're not invading their privacy. You're keeping them safe. If you uncover something, I guess that's too bad. Then have a conversation with your son or daughter about that, whatever you uncover. But you have to stay involved in your kid's life. You can't wish that nothing bad's going to happen, because bad stuff does happen locally. We see that in the news. And why do you report on this stuff? I mean, sometimes you take the heat because you report on this stuff. It's because we want to educate people, yes, and we want to show that police are doing their job, police are catching people, and we want to tell people you can learn from other people's mistakes, whether it's meth or some of these sex offender crimes or whatever it is. You've got to stay involved. You got to learn. So we have a class. We teach parents on the ins and outs of the internet. We have a class on meth. We can teach you about meth and other drugs, alcohol, tobacco. If you look at our kids, the earlier they start with tobacco, then it switches to marijuana, then it switches to methamphetamine. There's a natural progression, and you can put a stop to it in that progression if you need to. But you have to stay involved. You have to talk to your kids. You have to have conversations, not one-sided conversations. It's got to be two-sided. You've got to say, hey, you've got to, and your parents have to talk to other parents. You can't just let Billy go to, Johnny's house and not say, hey, are your parents going to be home? Call Johnny's parents and ask them. I mean, that seems silly to do, but in today's world, it's a text message. Hey, Johnny's coming over. Are you guys going to be around? Well, we're not going to be until 9 o'clock, but we'll be home after that.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll check on them. So, but being involved is the best thing you can do, the easiest thing you can do.
And Elizabeth, predators don't always necessarily have a look. I agree, obviously. They don't. Having said that, I'm just saying. It is. Right. Thank you for, saying that, because that's good. Otherwise, I was going to, I probably shouldn't have said they're all grody and, weird looking. But still, all right, so there was a question that was on last week at the end of our show, and I went this morning and I just copy and pasted it. So this is from a Patricia Appleby, and I think it was Appleby. And she had said, so are running Barron as a safe place for illegals coming across the border? Why does the I think she means
I
he,
think she
lie.
means why do we lie?
Why do we lie and put down a different race when the Hispanic or you protecting illegals, or do you do your job and report them to ICE? You had responded that we do call ICE on all subjects brought into the jail, and they either hold them or tell us to release them. So yes, ICE does come to the jail to pick up people. I would guess a couple of times a year. It does not have anything to do with race. It has to do with citizenship. Thank you for the question. And she responded, I don't know if you saw that, but she responded to that, then why you mark them down as a different race?
Right.
So,
Well, the
yeah.
question was, I think, is are we not marking people down, let's say Hispanic, in the jail, and does that protect them from ICE if we don't check the word Hispanic when they're Hispanic? Well, we take people's race for what they are. I mean, they tell us when we ask them, their height, their weight. We don't weigh people. We don't measure their height. We take it down. And we call ICE based on citizenship, not on race. Just because you're of a different race doesn't mean we call ICE and say, hey, should we hold this guy? That's not how it works. It has to do with paperwork and different things like that. And we call ICE and they tell us to hold or not hold. We do it, like I said, a couple times a year. And so we do mark people's race down with what they tell us. And again, if they tell us they're green and they don't have paperwork, then we still call ICE. If they tell us they're white and they don't have paperwork, we call ICE. So there's some rules that the jail follows when it comes to that. We're not protecting anybody just because they tell us that that they're green. That's not how it works. So it's as simple as that. And it was, I get where people might get some of that from the internet, and it's just not like that. ICE is involved. We have an ICE agent that we work directly with. That's assigned to our jail or assigned to our region, and if we have questions, we can call them. And sometimes it's like, no, everything's good. Book them for whatever you book them for, and they always have to go through court before ICE takes them. So our case the Barron County case has to go through the system, and then ICE takes them after that. So the ICE doesn't come in and say, unless it's a very serious ICE thing, we might drop our charges here. But they go through the Barron County case, so no one gets off of a crime in Barron County just because they have an ICE detainer on them.
Yeah, isn't that what I don't know? So, so this isn't specific to ICE though. In terms of there are times that maybe you don't, maybe there's a bigger thing here, like an FBI case that is being done where they would come in. It has nothing to do with ICE, nothing to do with any of this stuff. Where sometimes it's we're going to drop these and default to yours because yours is a much bigger thing. That happens, doesn't it?
You bet.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say it happens a lot because
I wouldn't think a lot, but
right. But
so it's not just specific to ICE and this topic that we were talking about. That happens in many different agencies.
Sure, and there's some, even in drug charges, it does happen where the federal drug charge would be bigger than the local drug charge. So we don't charge locally, we charge federally, and so that's.
I see.
Lance is saying, "Let's go Warriors!" Yeah, Lance and I were at the game Friday night, watched the big game together. So, his son plays. His son's a senior. I hung your kid's banner yesterday. We hang our senior banners. So Lance's kids' banners hung up at the football field, Lance. So,
nice.
Take a look at that. We hang senior banners for all our sports teams, and I'm part of the booster club, so we hung all the banners yesterday.
Doesn't surprise me. You're part of that club, part of this board, like you and Dave Wilson. Dave Wilson. You and Dave, geez, you're part of like everything all the time.
Well, it's just my kids are involved, so I mean.
You're a helicopter father.
Yeah.
Got it. They're involved. Right. I'll be involved.
Right. Then that's how you stay involved in your kid's life. Oh, you're funny now. Now it's getting serious. No.
Oh boy, here we go. I think we're about almost 30 minutes. We're about time to wrap it up. So last week we had Warren Tuttle on for a chat. I think it was last Thursday. Warren Tuttle is a deputy for the Washburn County Sheriff's Office. He had announced on Wednesday that he was he's going to be, or he announced his candidacy for sheriff in Washburn County. Then we had him on for a show on Thursday. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it or not, but I'm only bringing that up because he's running as a Republican. You are as a Democrat, which I think, believe it or not, I still think there are people out there that don't know that you're a Democrat. But
that's good.
Yeah, maybe that's good. Is that one of those things? I know we talked last week, and we've talked about this several times in the past, about having an R next to your name or D next to your name, and it shouldn't matter. It should be about the person and the character and etc. Unfortunately, that's just not the way the world works. Ideally, that would be nice. But when it comes to sheriffs, I mean, honestly, I don't even think they should be a partisan race at all. I mean, what's the difference if you're a Republican or a Democrat? I think Tracy Finch and Burnett's I think she ran as independent, right? I mean, it shouldn't really make a difference at all. I don't see how, if you're a Democrat, you would do things wildly different than if you're a Republican. That just seems a little interesting to me. But do you ever get some feedback, and I'm saying that in a positive way,
Right.
about being a Democrat sheriff?
Well, sure. You always get that because it's such a polarized opposites in the world right now that you start to see the heat once in a while. But again, I'm blessed enough to be part of Barron County, and where I'm supported by a lot of Republicans, a lot of Democrats, and like I've always said, I'm everyone's sheriff. It doesn't matter what's behind my name. Obviously, sometimes you don't like the answer you hear, and there's some people out there that don't like the answer. But just because I give you an answer doesn't mean it's the wrong answer just because you don't like it. So you have to remember that. And also, we don't answer our phones. If you're a Republican, press 1. If you're a Democrat, press 2, because that'll
that'd be
include
nice.
your response time. It's not like that here. It starts to get that way sometimes. You get pushed to go a certain way. I have very great contacts with the Republican Party. I'm actually a member of the Republican Party. I'm a member of the Democrat Party. I pay both my dues to both of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so I'm a member of both because I think it's important to stay involved. And that's what the sheriff needs to do. I shouldn't be going to just Democrat meetings. I go to Republicans meetings too to learn more about what the issue are and how I can be a better sheriff and how I can go to this. I go to the Patriot meetings. I've gone to the Patriot meetings and said, how can I be a better sheriff? And they've taught me some things, and I've learned from them. I've learned from everybody. And so I still learn today, even this is my 14th year as sheriff. I still learn today. I still can be a better sheriff, and I still want to be a better sheriff. Obviously, Warren decided he's going to run. I'm running too. I'm running for sheriff next year. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I love my job. I love what I do in Barron County. I have great support, and I hope no one runs against me. But if someone does, they'll have a battle on their hands because I love my job. I'm going to work very hard at doing this, and I do work very hard every day at it. But you do catch some of that. There's people that says, yeah, I'm the best sheriff in the world, but because I'm on that side of the ticket, they'll never vote for me. And I just don't believe in that, but some people do believe in that. And It's been both ways because the Republican, a Democrat, a Republican, whatever. And so you get that on both sides of the fence. But luckily in Barron County, we're pretty even. There's probably maybe a few more Republicans, but I have some very large supporters in the Republican side. I have very large supporters on the Democratic side. And I'm just everyone's sheriff. I've always said that, and I will continue to say that and until I'm not your sheriff anymore.
Right.
So.
Well, you said that it's been 14 years. You're still learning. I don't know what's taking too long. I've been doing DrydenWire. I think next month is 6 years. I've learned everything. Yep, I'm finished. There's nothing left that I need to learn. I know the answers to any question. You ask me a question, I know the answer. And you're reading comments. You're not even paying attention.
I'm reading the comments.
So I want to get back to this one. Hold on. Oh, Ben, make those questions shorter. I'm not putting that on the screen. Sharon, how bad are COVID cases in Barron? I noticed when I did the update yesterday, it seemed to be a little bit more just over this last weekend. That could be for a number of reasons. But how is the COVID situation? How tall is the grass?
How tall is the grass?
In Barron County. Yeah. What is the status update there?
For Mike Shaver, we need to cut the grass. It's not getting any better. I think I saw our Monday numbers. I think we're at 200 cases. That's again a big jump from last week. It's steadily gone up every day or every week, I should say. So we need to close the gap. I mean, we've got to do a good job, either mass vaccinations, whatever you believe in. Not here pushing anything, but if you're vaccinated, it's less than 20% of the people getting sick are vaccinated. So 80% of the people that are in our hospitals are unvaccinated. Whether that means anything, I'm not a scientist. I'm not here to argue the point. I'm just pointing the facts out that we're given. I mean, just like you do every day, people are like, why are you putting that? I'm like, because that's the press release given to me. Right. I think, but so I don't think it's getting better. We need to do some more stuff and hopefully it doesn't. All I care about is our schools. I want our schools to keep going, and I want our kids to stay in school. Yeah. So that's the story.
Okay, I want to go back. I wrote down here. You had said you're part of the Republican, Democrat. You said you have Patriot meetings. So the Patriot group, I'm not. I think I'm a part of a couple of their Facebook groups. I got invited. I don't recall seeing anything. I'm sure they do things, and I don't know. It doesn't show up in my newsfeed for some reason. So I don't really understand what that is. What is is it the Patriot group, or I don't know what it's called? What is
Well,
that? Is that like the constitutionalist or
yeah, I
thing?
would say that's how I
Okay.
would call it, the
Okay.
constitutional group. They've taught me a lot about, the Constitution, a lot about rights. Um,
Okay.
um, so, again, everybody can teach you something. You don't always have to agree, but you can learn from it. And I don't maybe agree with everything, but and how they go about it, but they've made an impact, and they've assembled people, and they've done some good. And whether some of their tactics, some people in some of the groups, it's just like everything that 10% of 90% of the people in Barron County are good, is 10% that are bad that I
Yeah.
deal with.
Yep.
So there's always a member of every group, whether it's Democrat,
Yeah.
Republican, Patriots, that take it to the a step too far.
Yep.
But for the most part, they've done really good, and they've made an impact, and that's what's important.
And a lot of times, and this is why we ask people to put in something positive in the comments, because it's very easy to do, right? It's not that difficult.
Right.
But using that same 90-10 ratio, it's kind of like the negative comments on social media. It's 90% of them are driven by 10% of the people.
Right.
And and then people see all that. It's just, I don't know. Like we could
Right.
easily just switch that number around by just saying something positive, but whatever. Okay, what else is there another thing on here? Oh, there's
Just
Mike
reading
Schaefer.
Ben's got
Hold on, what
that
did he
Mike
say?
Schaefer.
COVID cases are, yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So there
Ben
you
wants us to take a bigger stance on
go.
marijuana, and he sent
What?
yeah, look
No.
at he sent an article, which I haven't read yet, Ben, on alcohol use, reduction in people that use cannabis, and I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously, Ben sent it to me. He's been pretty accurate, so. But he he needs law enforcement leaders to stand up for the criminal aspect of cannabis. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not there
that's just,
yet. I know that's
eesh.
what someone else said, but I'm just not quite there
Yeah, that's
yet.
just too
But
much.
um, Ben's working us over pretty hard, and he's sent some good stuff. So we'll read that yet, Ben. I haven't yet read it yet. So otherwise, we'll see everybody at the Meth Town Hall meeting on Thursday, September 9th, 3:30, Barron Area Community Center. DHS Director Frolick's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Senator Ron Johnson. And again, it's not because he's a Republican or Democrat. He wanted to learn more about this. He's up in our neck of the woods. We don't always get to see him. I'm happy to be able to showcase our county and our programs in front of anybody at any of the time. So if you want to make a difference, September 9th, 3:30, Barron Area Community Center. We'll see everybody there.
We actually refreshed. You had sent that release, that announcement a week or two ago. We refreshed it, so it's on our homepage as well on DrydenWire.com if you want more information or to see the I don't know, the announcement thing. Hold on, here's a question. Or I don't know if it's a question.
Right.
You see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Nope.
That's my
Yeah.
point.
Yep. Agreed.
We
100%,
don't set
Kathy.
policies or make laws, so we shouldn't be. I've always agreed with that. I wanted to change that when I first became sheriff, but you go down south in Wisconsin, and it's very politicized department. Luckily, ours isn't. And I've just said I'm not going to look into being the political sheriff that I am. I'm involved. I don't write laws. I just enforce the laws
Yeah.
given to me. So if you want it, change it. If Ben gets it changed, then we won't be arresting people for marijuana. But I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah. And good job for you,
So,
Shasta. That's awesome.
yep. Thanks, Shasta,
Looking
for
for.
being there. And I thought it was interesting. Our comments today was about how many people knew somebody affected by meth, or how many people were foster
Yeah.
parents, or how many people. I thought that was really interesting, because everybody says meth doesn't affect me, and I think we're going to show you on Tuesday that it affects a lot more of us than we think. And obviously, just by the people that are watching the show today, the comments are, I know somebody that's fostering kids, their grandkids, because they got their kids taken away from meth. And just because you get your kids taken away doesn't mean they go to a foster home or they don't know anybody. A lot of them go to family members first. DHS's first role is to place any child with a family member first. We don't go to just pick a random house and say, hey, do you want 2 foster kids
Right.
for the month?
Right.
So, I mean, there's some people that believe that. So they always go with family first. And if family can't, then there's these foster homes that people do or short term even for a weekend until family members can come here from a different area of the state and pick them up, whatever it is. So our DHS workers do a great job of that, of placing kids with somebody they know. But I thought it was interesting how many people commented that they knew somebody that was doing this, and so that just reinforces my efforts that we need to do a better job of talking about meth and getting it out there. So
and
we'll
you'll
be out there.
you as Director Frolic, right?
Yep.
Frolic, and Senator Johnson will be the Barron County Sheriff's Department and Barron County Health and Human Services will be holding an update on meth, drugs, and other substance abuse and its implications in our community on September 9th, 2021. More information is on the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, the Barron County Sheriff's Department, I should say, and also on DrydenWire.com on our main page this morning. All right, let's get to a winner here. So do you have your little fancy-dancy app thing? And then I'll pick a number, but then you have to count down because I'm not actually on Facebook. It's a different program, so I just see all the comments. But some of them could have been replies, so I don't know. We'll pick a random number and then count down, and I don't know.
I can't get backwards to them, though.
You can't get backwards?
I can't get through to all the comments.
No, you don't need to read all the comments. We just need to count how many.
There's 49 comments.
49 comments. Right, okay.
So do you
want a randomizer, or do you want to just, do a randomizer. 1 through 49.
You want a randomizer. Okay, yeah. I got it. Hang on. Okay. Talk about something for a second. Number randomizer. I got it. 1 through 50.
All right. Yeah, and thank you, everyone.
I'm glad you can cover for me.
Yeah, no problem. Seriously, though, thank you for everyone for commenting through this. Maybe we just need to start giving away $25 gift certificates. There you go, 38. Every show, and then we'll get more people actually want to comment more. So 38?
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to count from top down or bottom up? Again, I can't see all those. I have a different screen. You have to do all the heavy lifting for us today, Fitzy. Anytime.
15.
Oh, it's funny this morning. I was getting ready to leave. So before you say who it is, when I was getting ready to leave, my kids, the two of the only left that are still in school, Riley and Kenneth, and Riley asked, I can tell you're doing a show with Fitzy this morning. Because I do shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can always tell it's a Tuesday because you're always leaving in a really, really positive and good mood. I'm like, well, I think that's good, but that also, man, do I really like all the other shows? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Isn't that? But it is. But that's why we started the show. So if my counting is correct, it's Jeremy Iroquois. He said good morning.
Well, it's not really positive, but okay. I don't see a who?
Hang on, let me count again. I want to.
Oh, there it is. Jeremy. Requiem. Good Lord, we have a better system going forward. This is our first. No, this isn't our first time doing this. We've done this before. Why are we having such problems? So many. I'm really enjoying just watching you count right now, and you got to take your shoes off pretty soon.
Yeah, Jeremy won.
Jeremy won. Okay, so Jeremy.
Raquam. He had 38 comments.
All right.
I counted the replies to comments, so that was.
Really? Should we have done that? I don't know. We'll start doing these more often.
Okay.
So we'll keep it this way, but we'll have a better plan going forward. Because the last 3 minutes has been a train wreck.
Because I don't need to count out loud.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we can figure this. We'll have a better system next time. We're already up to 5 points out of our 25, so we should be at the 25 here in about 3 or 4 more shows. Awesome. Anything else that you wanted to get to or talk about that we didn't get a chance to?
No. We'll see everybody Thursday. Everybody have a great week and go make a difference.
Awesome. Thanks, Fitzy, as always. We're off next week, I believe. So for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by ICAA. ICAA is your local social service organization that works together with individuals, families, and the community to create local solutions for local needs. For a full list of services, find them on Facebook or just go to their website at indianheadcaa.org. So Fitzy and I are off for our regularly scheduled Tuesday off. The second Tuesday of the month we take off. But we'll be back in 2 weeks from today. So until then, stay safe, stay positive, and as always, have a blessed day.